I was just working with a client, helping her with her story strategy for signing clients. And I'm talking about Instagram stories, Facebook stories, TikTok stories, all the stories, right? I find that a lot of coaches come to me and they're like, okay, awesome content. I get that. But what goes in stories? And stories usually are an afterthought, or they're not very strategic, or they're just ignored altogether. And stories are so powerful because the people who watch your stories are the people who are most interested in what you have to offer. And my story strategy, I think where it really shines and how it's different from other story strategies is mine is designed specifically to sign coaching clients. It's not designed to get a bunch of views. It's not designed to, have a bunch of likes or follows or people who are looking for free information. It's designed to help you sign clients, right? And I think another thing that is a little bit different is it's not super salesy. It's focused on value and alignment and authenticity. I know for me, I've been a coach for 10 years and I've built a business that fully supports me through coaching clients. And I think the reason that that's been able to happen is because the way in which I show up is very authentic, right? It's very much in alignment. Whereas if I was doing something that was out of alignment, it would be hard for me to consistently show up and it would be hard for me to reach my goals because my people would pick up on that, right? The people that I work with are health coaches, spiritual coaches. They're very similar to me, probably very similar to you, right? And so I never want my social media content to make somebody feel bad about their life. I feel like a lot of advice is based on showing you as like perfect and you have it all figured out, and it's like, I don't know that for me, that doesn't ring true. So I'm going to show you how I do stories so that you can sign clients consistently. I'm going to share my screen. Green smoothie. The best Instagram story strategy for coaches. Let's get into it. So, what I recommend is everything follows your mission, your program, your story, your ideal client, right? It all is in alignment. This is the method that I teach in the Aligned and Signed framework. So, my clients, when they come to me, we make sure that this is all clear. So, this is my client. Her mission is to help women regain their sense of self after divorce and take back their power, right? And then how you do it. And so you can do this for your business too, right? She does it through confidence, healing, and empowerment. And then the program that she's working on selling right now is the empowerment package, right? And it's all in alignment. That this is very important. We want it all to be in alignment. So the purpose of stories, what do you think the purpose of stories is? To start conversations and build connection. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, like, should I be selling in stories? How much should I be selling in stories?" Really, we want people to raise their hand, and we're gonna get there so that you can have a conversation, right? Because we need to find out if people actually are a good fit for your program, right? And if you can help them and what they need help with. People need to feel like they can trust you, right? And the best way to build trust is to clarify that you actually understand what they're going through and can help them with the problem that they have. And a conversation needs to be had. I think a lot of people want to avoid this and they want to just focus on, posting content and linking. And, it's just like with coaching, we have to feel a connection to the coach, right? So there has to be a conversation. And once there's a conversation, oh my gosh, you learn so much about where your people are, which allows you to create better content and allows you to tweak sales pages if needed. And really, they're going to think of you when they are ready to sign up, whether it's right now or whether it's tomorrow or next week, right? So we want to start conversation. We want to build connection. I always say this, but clients don't hire coaches who are perfect. So if you're trying to be perfect, look perfect, say the perfect thing, that's not what actually matters. What actually matters is connection. Are you listening to them, right? Are you responding with things that are actually helpful? So purpose of stories, start a conversation and build connection, right? Okay. So how do we do this? So I call this the story mirror. And essentially, what this means, these are examples from my client. What this means is things you've done and help clients do in your program that your ideal client wants to do as well? So these are 5 examples from my client, right? So she set boundaries with her ex, she released the emotional weight of the past, she took control over her life, she improved her self-confidence, and she is happy again, right? And these are all things that women that she works with are going through. These need to come from your ideal clients. You need to you don't wanna make these up. I feel like right now everybody's using AI and, like, AI does not have that emotional connection, right? So you wanna pull things from your life, things that you've done that you know your ideal client wants, things that you wanted when you were in the thick of it, or things that you've helped your clients do too. So these we just did examples from my client and her experience, but after so these honestly, this could be like 10 different stories. You could even do even more with these, but after this round, after she goes through these, then we can take things that she's helped her clients do, and those will then be her stories, right? But at the end of the day, this is what we're doing with our stories, right? We are focusing on what our clients want. We're focusing on what they want that we've done or we've helped other people do that we do in our program, right? So it's all aligned. It's really important. You'll hear me talk about this all the time because a lot of coaches come to me and they're like, Sarah, it's not working. I'm not signing clients consistently. How are you doing this? And there's something out of alignment. When you line it all up, it flows, man. It flows so well. So, okay. So these are like the foundation of your stories, right? Then we're going to turn these into 2 different types of stories. So I call them the hand raiser stories or the value stories. What do you think the hand raiser story purpose is? What do we think it is? To get people to identify and let you know, "Hey, this is me. I'm ready for your help." AKA raise their hand. We want people to raise their hand. So, an example of this would be for my client, right? I let my ex walk all over me until I didn't. Want to know exactly how I did it? Let me know. So that is a hand raiser. And I recommend using the poll box, right? The yes or no. I'll show you an example. I created this. I didn't want to show my clients because I didn't have permission from her and I just wanted to get this up quick while it was fresh. But it was so weird for me putting these words in because I'm like, okay, this is totally not my story, but just so you can see, I'll put it up on the screen. This is what this could look like, right? To give you an idea. It's very simple. And this could be your only story for the day. You don't need to do a bunch of stories. It could just be this story. People are going to vote and then you're going to have a conversation with them, right? You're going to use the sales mechanisms that I teach or that you love, right? To then learn about them and find out if they would be a good fit for your program, right? So, this funny, right? I was so funny. I was like, this has never happened to me. But for my client, this is true, right? This is why we want to pull things from our actual life that we feel comfortable sharing. So that is what a hand raiser post would look like for that. Let's go to a value post. What do you think the value post purpose would be? Show that you can help them with their problem and don't hold back. I see so many coaches and they're like, I don't want to give it all away for free, but you're literally giving people nothing, like barely anything. People never say, Sarah, you were so helpful. I'm not going to hire you. That just doesn't happen. That never happens. People remember those who help them, those who they can relate to. And then when they're ready for a coach, they think of you and they sign up to work with you. This works, you guys. So you have to give value. You have to give value. And what I mean by that is help them with something that they want help with for free, no strings attached, right? So what this could look like is, right, you could say, I would just do a talking to camera one, but you could write it out. I think that those who actually put their face on video and show up and talk, they sign more clients. So I do think that you showing up in your energy is really important. However, you could do this in like step slides, but how I would do this is I would do something like they say just move on, but no one tells you how. Here's what worked for me, right? And then I'd be like, first thing that I did was I took my confidence back. I started getting dressed in the morning. I started cleaning my house. I started making myself good meals. right? The second thing that I did, and I would just go through them, and just make it really helpful, whatever that is. So that is an example of a value post. So those are the two types of posts. So for every week, I would just make a list of the things that you've done that you help your clients do, right? 5 things. And I would just turn them into a story, hand raiser, value story, and you can just rotate them. Now you can do different styles. If you're like, okay, I feel like this is going to get kind of boring, you can do different styles. So for a hand raiser story, you could be doing something, right? You could be filming your morning routine, or you could be out for a walk. It doesn't have to just be a photo. You can have fun with it. And I think that's important that you put your own spin on it. So hand raiser posts and then value posts. And then the other thing that I think is really important for stories is testimonials. Why do we do testimonials? What's important about testimonials? So the reason that we do testimonials is because testimonials show proof that you can do what you say you can do without you saying it, right? Having somebody else is what's often called social proof, right? But the here's the thing with the testimonials. These must tie into your program. I see coaches post testimonials that are so long and vague. They're not in alignment, right? So I'm going to show you really quick some of my testimonials and what I mean and why these are so good for stories, right? So for me, I help coaches sign clients consistently, right? So this is one example. I fully booked my one-on-one program, launched my first passive course, brought in over 9K, grew my Instagram following from 300 to 18.5 and went full-time online. That's pretty amazing because although a lot of my clients want to sign consistent clients, the reason that they want to is they want to be able to quit their jobs, right? So this is another one. I now have 4 clients, right? If you are thinking about joining my program, Aligned and Signed, seeing that other people have signed clients is really important. Here's another one. I received 12 clients in 8 weeks. I couldn't believe my bank account had another 16K in those 2 months alone. Sarah Hagstrom has absolutely changed my life, right? They're very specific to the program. So that is also what I recommend, is make sure your testimonials that you're sharing tie in with your program and what your ideal client wants to do. And I teach this in Aligned and Signed. That's one of the goals that we work on is getting your clients to send you testimonials like that without you having to ask, that are perfect for exactly what your ideal clients are going through. So if you are looking for support, if you're like, I would love to do this story process with you, Sarah, or I would love to learn how to get those testimonials you're talking about, check out Aligned and Signed. It is linked below. I'll put it in the description of this video. Okay, so give these stories a try. Let me know how they go. Hand raiser and then value post and report back to me. All right, until next time. Bye, friend.